And good evening, everyone. It is that time of day again. Time for...
Natchez Renewal Radio.
There you go. Listen at him. Natchez Renewal Radio, brought to you by the mayor of Natchez, Adams County, Mayor Dan Gibson. Good evening, sir.
Hello, Leon. How are you?
Hey,
man,
here I am.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm just glad to be here, glad to be anywhere.
Oh,
and
welcome.
Man, what a beautiful spring we're having. Although it's a little chilly out there today. Man, it got cold last night.
Breezy, fresh, fresh air.
And
good stuff.
And man, the azaleas, they're tough.
Oh,
man, they're just as beautiful as
they
ever.
are gorgeous.
You would never know it. It got down to 30 degrees last night. It is, Leon, it's good to see you, and thanks for letting me come on a little early this evening. Normally it'd be 5:30, but I have to get on down to the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Oh,
Everybody's welcome. I think they're lining up there in the block there near Memorial Park and the Life Center for the Catholic Church, St. Mary's.
And all.
And that's right, shamrocks and all. I better go find something green to put on.
You better hurry.
And so always look forward to that. The actual, oh, come on, Michael. Michael, now I'll have to give that to you. I've got a few at the house. We'll see. There we go, Lifesaver. Here we go. I'm wearing my green now.
Yeah.
But Michael, hey, no, it looks better on you. I'm giving it back to you. There we go. All right. Michael Wilson's off camera, but man, he always does so much for us. I think, Michael, you're going to cover the parade today, actually, at 6 o'clock. That's good. I'm going to say this, though. There's so much happening in Natchez, so many good things. I understand that with the tours that went on this weekend, weddings, they booked, I think, Living History, which is one of the new groups doing home tours and reenactments. I think they booked about 1,500 people. And I'm told that there were a few thousand people in town. Places were sold out. It was just a real good weekend. Looking forward to another good weekend. I always push the Natchez Pilgrimage this time of year, spring and fall, because it's a time to bring so many people here. And we have been working to make our pilgrimage more inclusive and more accurate with each and every year that passes, telling the whole story of Natchez, telling the story of these beautiful mansions and also the amazing individuals who built these mansions, the ancestors of so many of our citizens today who sadly back at that time were enslaved. It's so important to talk about that history and to appreciate just all that was done, because Natchez wouldn't be Natchez today if it hadn't been for those skilled craftsmen who created all of these masterpieces that are still here. It's amazing, isn't it, when you look at the artistry across Natchez. Also, we always want to do a shout-out for people talk about the garden clubs. You know, we've actually got 3 clubs now, the Pilgrimage Garden Club, the Natchez Garden Club, and then the Living History Tours. But we also have the Natchez Little Theater doing a special play this Friday, Southern Exposure. We also have a lot of great events going on the Bluff this weekend and then the weekends to come. I'm just telling people, go to visitnatchez.org. Check it out. You don't want to miss all the great things to come. Musical events. It's the busy time of year, isn't it, Mr. Leon?
Very true.
How's the traffic been at Arts Natchez down on Main Street?
Always nice and steady because of the talented artists that I have there.
Yes.
So they love the work. Well,
are the home tours and all the events bringing more people in to the art gallery?
I'm going to be honest. I've taken a few days off, so
Good for you.
I can't say. I haven't been there in about 3 days.
Well, it's about time.
You know.
Well, get ready, because this weekend is going to be gorgeous, and they tell me it may be a record-breaking weekend for Natchez.
Wonderful. Outstanding.
We will
Good
see.
to hear.
Yeah, it is. And everywhere I go, people are asking about Natchez. Man, what's going on in Natchez? You know, next week, the Hobby Lobby will open on the 23rd. I imagine people are going to be lined up waiting to get into the Hobby Lobby.
Well, definitely my artists, because we're running out of supplies.
And then, coming up in April, I believe we'll begin working on the phase 2 of Trace Town. That's going to be exciting.
Great.
Also, I just really every time we talk about tours, I highlighted it in an e-blast we put out this weekend. We have a great museum of African American history on Main Street. Leon, you know what I'm talking about, in APAC.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Bobby
Dennis.
Dennis. Yeah.
It's a free museum, just, donations if you want to make a donation. And there's a lot of history in that museum right there on Main Street.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of art galleries, I ran into White Waters this weekend on the sidewalk just outside Magnolia Hall.
He's always painting something new.
And he tells me he has a new book coming out on Natchez. We're excited about White Waters' new book, exclusively Watercolors of Natchez. So it's going to be a great thing to look forward to. I understand it'll be coming out sometime, hopefully this summer. And I want to. Speaking of books, I want to talk about the Mayor's Book Club. Have you heard about the Mayor's Book Club?
Yes, I have.
What have you heard, Leon?
That it's at Dixon's Books, here on Main Street.
Well, that is kind of the headquarters.
That's
They've really been
the
supportive.
headquarters
We made our launch there last week. But do you know our Mayor's Book Club is going to deliver a free book to children in Natchez between the ages of 0 and up to when they turn age 5.
Right.
So that's 5 years worth of books for some of these. I understand we're starting to sign up pregnant mothers. Imagine 5 years of free books. That's 60 books for a child. That's 6,000 books a year being put into the hands of children here in Natchez, because our goal is to sign up this year 500 children in Natchez. Our goal right now, our immediate goal, is to get 250 signed up by April 15th. And guess what? Over this past week, we've already signed up 72, and these children will be getting the books mailed to them in April. And these are books age appropriate. The books also come with a parent's guide to help the parent, adult, big sister, big brother, teacher, whoever's reading this to the child, to give them ideas on how to convey the various lessons to be learned. Learning about animals, learning about numbers, learning about lessons of kindness. And these books are devoid. There is no politics in this. There's no ulterior motives. These are just simple, very pure books to help children learn how to read and adapt to reading skills before they start pre-K at age 5.
That's great.
So, studies indicate across America that a child's brain is at 80% of its capacity at age 2. By age 3, it's at 85% and functioning twice as fast as an adult's. And between age 3 and age 10, the brain of a child functions twice as fast as an adult's. That's why they're so hard to keep up with.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, if we wait until they start first grade, then we're missing out on some valuable years to instill in them reading skills and a love for reading. And what I like to say is reading is exercise for the imagination. And the imagination is power fuel for the brain. And the more a child reads, the smarter a child gets.
100%.
And the studies also indicate that children who start first grade without knowing how to read are already behind, lacking confidence, and end up a statistic later in life in many cases. And so we're wanting to have a generational impact upon the children of Natchez through this. We have teamed up with a nonprofit out of Georgia called First Readers, F-E-R-S-T, founded by the First family, a very wealthy family in Georgia that has a heart for children and for literacy. They now are delivering thousands of books every month, free of charge, to children in 40 counties across Georgia, and I believe in 15 states. They have been working with a program in Brookhaven, so Natchez is the second city for them to work with, but we are actually the first mayor-sponsored activity of this type in the state.
Great.
And we are hoping to be a model for other mayors across Mississippi. We understand that one of my mayor buddies has already called First Readers asking how their city can get signed up. We heard that from First Readers. So the information is on Facebook. We've been sharing it. The Natchez Democrats have been sharing it. But if anyone wants to get their child signed up, these are free books, not going to cost you anything, and they'll be delivered. We're going to daycares. They're going to be delivered to the daycares for every child in the daycare to take home each month. But we're also going to have them sent to individual home addresses, and anyone who wants to go ahead and sign up, you can actually Google firstreaders.org/Natchez. And we'll be putting that on our website also, a link. But F-E-R-S-T, remember it's not first F-I-R-S-T. I asked them, don't you know how to spell first? But found out it's their family name. Meant to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But F-E-R-S-T readers.org/Natchez, and you can sign your child up. And they will be good until they turn 5. They'll be getting these free books. And these books will belong to our children. They'll stay in the home. And these children will value them. When I was a child, my mother signed me up for a book club. And I just couldn't wait to get those books. And my older brother and my mother would read to us, and then we would read them back to her. And I still have all of those books.
Really?
And being that I'm a new grandfather, my little grandson will turn 4 months old on March 20th. I'm so excited about getting him introduced to reading so early in life. So the Mayor's Book Club, I just wanted to make sure that everyone, knew about this. I'll hold this up. People will get to know the logo.
The Mayor's Book Club.
The Mayor's Book Club,
Right here in Natchez.
Right here in Natchez. There is also a donation link. If people want to donate, it costs us $42 per child per year. And we've raised enough funds to cover the entire cost of the first year. Right here in Natchez, from local donors who just want to make a difference in the lives of our children.
Great.
So that's a great thing.
Yes, it is.
Had the pleasure of being with the Adams County Board of Supervisors yesterday. I'm going to shift gears and talk about something else. First of all, I was there because we were getting a resolution passed honoring the former Mayor Butch Brown. We are trying our best to get the legislature to approve renaming the Liberty Road Bridge. It's a beautiful bridge that Mayor Brown had a lot to do with when he was mayor, getting it constructed here on Highway 61, Sergeant Prentice, right at Liberty Road. And we're hoping to name that after former Mayor Butch Brown, who served 3 terms here, 2 terms in the 90s and 1 2012 to 2016, made such an impact on Natchez. We also were there asking for support for us as we go to the state and federal levels raising funds to replace the Canal Street Bridge. People have asked, well, why do we need to replace the Canal Street Bridge? Well, if you'll recall, back, I think, in 2023, the state almost shut it down right before Christmas because it failed an inspection.
Yeah.
It had a lot of rust on a lot of the trusses underneath. We went in. We were able to keep it open. They did put a reduced rating on it, and we were able to, with city funds, none budgeted, and then the state has put in some money. We put in $800,000. All total, about $1 million's been spent on that bridge. But that only got us 5 years. The bridge is so old, it's going to have to be replaced. And in 4 years, we're now 1 year in. In 4 years, we don't want to just wake up and, they're closing the bridge. So we are working to raise funds to replace the bridge. It's going to cost $5.8 million, which is a lot. We've already raised $2 million in a federal earmark just approved by Congress and signed by the President just last month. And we are very grateful for that. But we still need $3.8 million. So we're going to the legislature, and we're going back to Congress and asking for more funding this year. We're going to do all we can to raise the money we need to make sure that that bridge can remain open, and the replacement bridge will actually be done to look the same, because it is a historic bridge, and we want to maintain that historic appearance, although it will be brand new with a whole lot more modern design underneath. It's the bridge that crosses the Natchez Railroad.
Right, yeah, it's a important artery of downtown Natchez.
Yeah, thousands of cars a day.
Absolutely.
Tourists, all of our residents, school buses, emergency vehicles.
That's the only way I can get to Dairy Queen.
There you go. There you go, Leon. You got your priorities.
Important. There you go.
And so let's just hope that we can raise the funds. Now, I saw a little scuttlebutt on Facebook, back and forth. Why are you trying to raise all this money for Canal Street Bridge? There's nothing wrong with it. Well, I just said, yes, there is. And in 4 years, we could wake up with them closing it. And boy, we'd really be in a mess then. And the comments were, well, what about Morgantown Road? Do you know we've already raised $6 million for Morgantown Road? The first phase is already complete. And it's ironic that the first phase, even though we, the city and county working on this together, and a lot of money coming from the city, and money we also raised, $2 million of our ARPA funds, funds that we had devoted, we were going to use for raising Silver Street. We had to transfer to Morgantown Road to get it done. And we also raised $2.5 million from the federal government as an earmark for the project. And so, hey, folks, we've raised the money for Morgantown. We actually had the groundbreaking, and we got the first phase done. They finished it back in the late fall, if you'll recall. That was the most complicated phase because it involved a lot of drainage issues and pipes that had to be installed and areas that had to be dug up and a lot of utilities that had to be moved. It was a phenomenally complex project. And while we wanted to start with the section that's in the city limits, from right there at CVS on out to the city where the city limits are, we couldn't start with that first because we had to get this other part done first, because we had to take care of all of that drainage infrastructure because it impacts upon the portion that's in the city limits. Now that's been done. The bid has been let. And we're very grateful. The same contractor that did the first, phase of this is now going to do this phase. So the bid has been awarded. They are having the meetings. The Mississippi Department of Transportation has just signed off on it, and it's under budget. It's under budget, and so within the month they're going to start this phase. I want to ask our citizens who live in that area of Morgantown Road to please be patient with us. It's going to be a little messy. What they're going to be doing is they're going to be replacing old drainage pipes that are no longer working. They're not having to move infrastructure like they did before. They're not having to move, gas lines and electrical lines and things. But what they are having to do is replace drainage systems that are just so old and no longer working. And then they're going to have to redo all the pavement and put new pavement down. And it's going to take about 6 months.
Will that include rerouting traffic?
There may be some rerouting involved. I'm told they're hoping to work on one lane at a time.
Oh, okay.
There may be some lane closures where people have to wait, go around.
Yeah.
It's going to be unpleasant.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be as unpleasant as the phase just completed was for a lot of folks in the county.
Okay.
But the good news is, in about 6 months, it'll be done.
Great.
It'll be done. And this is something people have been waiting on for over 20 years. When I ran for mayor, I said, we're going to get this done. And we set out, we got the funding early in my first term. But it just took forever to get to this point because it's such a complicated project. When it's all said and done, Mr. Leon, we will have spent over $5 million on this. And do you know that that's almost as much as we spent paving almost 50 streets just a couple of years ago?
Wow.
Just to do one street. But that's why it hadn't been done all those years. But it's getting done. I have that good news to share. I think we're about out of time. There are a lot of other things going on. I'm going to give a shout out. Summer sports are underway.
Mm-hmm.
We will be playing youth baseball
Little
very
League.
soon, right
Right.
there at Duncan Park.
Right.
Yes. We also we want to applaud. By the way, I was talking to the mayor of Vidalia the other day, Buzz Kraft, and I just really think a lot of Mayor Kraft and congratulated him on their amazing new park that they have just developed in Vidalia. And it is the largest full-access park in Louisiana.
Great.
It's a great new park that they've created out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to remind everyone, we've got 6 parks here in Natchez, and we replaced all the playground equipment just a few years ago, and it's all waiting to be enjoyed. If you're not enjoying our parks, please do. We've got disc golf at Duncan Park.
Mm-hmm.
We are about to cut the ribbon on the first phase, $1 million restoration of the golf clubhouse, and then we'll start phase 2. We have tennis, we have pickleball, we have baseball. We also have the walking trails, and do you know they are now really getting close. They're putting in a fantastic 2.5-mile bike trail at Duncan Park, all with private funds and grant funds, no city funds. It's amazing. We have North Natchez Park, the renovated youth center. You know, the playground there is beautiful. The playgrounds at Duncan Park are beautiful, but that one at North Natchez Park, just beautiful. Have the tennis courts. We have more that we want to do there. Also, if you haven't been to Concord Park lately, it's just looking so much better. People are still enjoying Jack Wade Park. You know, I'm being told that I'm about out of time, but I guess my mind is on parks because the weather. Do you know we're getting up into the upper 70s tomorrow and into the 80s, and it's going to be bright spring sunshine through the weekend. So get out to the parks, get out to the river, enjoy our sunset, and if you want to, go across the bridge and see what they're doing in Vidalia. We're all the Miss
Tell
Lou.
Buzz
We're all in this together, and it's just a great time. And Mr. Leon, thank you for this time.
Anytime, Mayor.
We appreciate it.
It's called Natchez Renewal Radio right here, 97.7 The Beat, natchezradio.com. See you later.